Good morning, WFIN Facebook followers. I'm Doug Jenkins, news director for 1330 WFIN, and joined now by Diana Hoover, the director of Job and Family Services in Hancock County. We just got done with the Child Abuse Prevention Breakfast at the Marathon Center for the Performing Arts, and now as you come downtown, you'll probably see a lot of red balloons in front of the Hancock County Courthouse. Diana, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about just some of the numbers you talked about during the breakfast. This isn't just a small issue in Hancock County. This is something people need to pay attention to.
That's correct. In 2015, we had 381 reports of child abuse and neglect, and an additional 170 reports of cases that we screened in for alternative response. The blue balloons represent the cases of child abuse and neglect, and the white balloons represent the cases of alternative response.
When people drive by the courthouse, they're going to see that that's a good number of balloons, but there are also red balloons this year, which is a little bit something different when it comes to Child Abuse Prevention Month. What's that about?
That's correct. Over the past 12 months, we have been promoting fosterlocal.org, which is our website to promote fostering in the community. And we want to make sure that people are aware of the need for foster parents and the need for protection of children. The 53 red balloons represent the number of children in foster care in Hancock County today.
All right. Now, one of the big things that was talked about during the breakfast was opiate addiction and how big a driver that is when it comes to child abuse in Findlay and Hancock County.
Yes, we believe that touches at least 80% of our cases, and that it affects everybody from all walks of life. So we want to make the community aware, as in other arenas, that this is a problem we are facing in child welfare as well.
One other thing that was talked about is that this is all walks of life. There's maybe a bit of a stereotype, especially when it comes to heroin addiction, opiate addiction, about who's affected. You had two pretty powerful speakers to really attest to that's not always the case.
We did. We were very fortunate to have two people willing to tell their story, both mothers, both from families where you would not expect substance abuse to creep in, and it did. Fortunately, they had support and were able to make changes, but we think it's important for people to realize that it does affect and can affect everybody.
And that prevention element's so important there, because from what they spelled out, it was a long way back to get to where they are now, where they have good relationships with their kids or have the opportunity to build good relationships with their kids. Preventing that from the first place is really what we're talking about here.
Yes, it is. We would like to make especially younger people aware to just say no. That's a very important thing. And if you do find yourself struggling, we ask that reach out for help. Call our office, call the 1-800 number, dial 211. They have a hotline right now that will take you directly to help. So if you are struggling, we do ask that you seek help, whether you have children or not.
Last couple of questions for you. You talked a little bit about the prevention there. If people suspect child abuse, the number one thing we always hear is get involved. How do people do that? How do people get themselves in the process, or at least get someone in the process who can help out?
Our office is a 24-hour emergency number. It is 419-424-7022, and you dial for the child abuse reporting. Law enforcement is also available if there's an immediate crisis, but if you have suspicions or concerns, we encourage you to report so that we can intervene early. As our one mother said, she thought we were the enemy, and actually we probably really helped her to keep her children from coming into foster care. So we do encourage people to report so we can step in and help.
All right, Dinah, thanks for joining me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course, we'll have a story on this up at WFIN.com later today. Feel free to share this video on Facebook. It's a great message to get out in the public and give people more awareness. I'm Doug Jenkins, 1330 WFIN.